Nosferatu finally came out on New Year's Day in England and I went to see the first showing at my local cinema, which is funny as I have no problem in predicting that this could well be in my top 10 by the end of 2025. Nosferatu is a gothic tale of obsession between a haunted young woman and a terrifying vampire infatuated with her, causing untold horror in its wake. It's also a film that's had a number of iterations in different guises. It was originally an unauthorised adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula made in Germany in 1922. The filmmakers were sued and ordered to destroy all copies of Nosferatu, but it survived, gained worldwide acclaim, and since has had a number of remakes, most famously by Werner Herzog in 1979. The 1922 Nosferatu is an all-time classic, studied and revered by many cinephiles, and apparently Robert Eggers holds a lot of love for it too, as this has been a 10-year passion project for him. He's also a director with buckets of skill, having already doled out some of the most stunning films in recent memory, so I was very excited to see this. I think Nosferatu is probably Eggers' best work to date. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the haunting nature of the witch, the searing madness of the lighthouse, and the great world building of the Northman, but 2 out of 3 of these had their misgivings for me. But for me, Nosferatu takes all his power as a filmmaker and storyteller and brings it to glorious and horrific life. Sure, it follows the original story to the letter, but to see this over 100-year-old story realised in such a gorgeous and chilling way had me from the opening scene. The entire film has this air of malevolence and danger in every beat, and it firmly places you in this rich, believable world. I always say the biggest hurdle that any filmmaking team has to overcome is making the world seem real. The sets, costumes, incredible lighting and near invisible effects, as well as the choice to shoot on film as opposed to digital, combine to create, honestly, a visual masterpiece. There was shot after shot that had my jaw on the floor. Small things like interior shots in bars where you could almost feel the warm moisture in the air, the oil lamp lit moments in houses that added foreboding to the atmosphere. This is a dark film, and not just in storytelling but in shots, and if you're not a fan of the dark, Nosferatu will not help with that. Going to watch this at home, make sure you have the lights out, as you most certainly will miss some elements of the extreme low light scenes. So best to catch it in a cinema while you can, or you better have a damn good TV. Before I mention any leads, big shout out to Simon McBurney, who has a super impactful and star support turn as the crazed and Igor-like Herr Knock. McBurney has popped up in some great films throughout the years, but you could tell he was dining out on this one, and I loved it. Nicholas Hoult is clearly hot property right now. This is the 3rd film he's been in for 2024, and we'll be seeing him again as Lex Luthor in Superman later this year. But this is one of my favourite performances of his. He sells terror so well, and it's easy to see how this might have been aided by Bill Skarsgard as Count Orlok. Oof, that haunting voice, the imposing figure, the costume, and honestly, that huge moustache. I don't care what anyone says. It works for me and completes the absolute bone-chilling nature of this creature. The way he's lit with so much care to elicit maximum creep factor is so brilliant, and the voice, wow. That's some great work by Skarsgård and the team that sound mixed this. Yes, at times it might have a smidge much Transylvania, but I totally got along with it. I also like how his character is set up and the way that Eggers is shooting him from a distance all the time so as not to reveal the monster within to the actor and also to the audience. It's a really great play on building up tension and understanding the character's perspective. Lilly-Rose Depp is so standout here. Her battle between loving her husband and this uncontrollable lure towards Count Orlok like a fly caught in a spider's web is so great to watch. The way her body and face contort in this is also eye-widening stuff. A true flex of skill both emotionally and physically. Additionally, I think Aaron Taylor-Johnson together with Willem Dafoe put in blistering performances here. The way they play off each other with Dafoe's mystical prophesizing character and Johnson's polar opposite straight man who will not be convinced into the supernatural is what makes this all feel so well measured. There's a limited acceptance to what is going on from the normal people in this, which is how I generally feel when films get into the supernatural. But for once, I was entranced by a film like this. There was a moment or two in the third act where I got this feeling it was starting to drag, but the second I thought that, the next scene would kick everything back into gear. Robert Eggers loves a long drawn out shot, and in his other films I thought his dwell time of shots was a little overzealous, especially some slow pan shots, but here they are used to great world enveloping effect and are much better paced. It's clearly been made with raw but meticulous passion, and it shows. Like I said earlier, this has all the elements that make Eggers a great director and finely tunes them to deliver something that is just a joy to watch. Sure, Nosferatu might not best the Lighthouse for raw originality, but it is infinitely more accessible to more people. And that's why I think this work is destined to be recognised in the upcoming awards season. I will also be watching this again as soon as I get the chance. And that's it for Nosferatu. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and say hello in the comments, or try this video next. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.